Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
The fallout continues from the ongoing UAW strike. 2 automakers set to lay off more auto workers. That's coming up. First, we're going to begin with the weather tonight as rain moves into Metro Detroit. Good to have you with us for Local 4 News at 11. I'm Devin Skillion.
Good evening. I'm Karen Drew in for Kimberly Gill. Let's get right over to forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams with a close look at the forecast. And is the weekend going to be a whole washout?
No, it's not going to be an entire washout, but when it's raining, it's going to be raining very heavily. Also cold and windy conditions making for a blustery start to the weekend, but we might finish it with some hope. So right now, let's talk about ExactTrack 40 radar. Widespread showers across all of Metro Detroit. The rain has been picking up in both coverage and in intensity over the last several hours. In New Baltimore, down I-94 into the Grosse Pointes, just light rain there. Sterling Heights, Warren, Clawson, Royal Oak, all getting some rain. It is totaling up a little bit on the roads tonight, so if you do travel, if you work at night, just be aware that some of those outer lanes might have some ponding. Then for the day tomorrow, it is going to be chilly. Right now, we've got temperatures in the upper 40s. Believe it or not, right after midnight, our high will be reached with a high of about 52 to 53 degrees. Tomorrow, we drop back down to the upper 40s to right around 50, but it's going to feel like it's in the 40s all day long. But there is some hope for the second half of the weekend. If you are headed to the Big House tomorrow, it's going to be cold. Winds will be up to 30 miles per hour. We'll break down the day on Sunday. That's when we could have some dry periods in just a couple minutes.
New at 11, more cascading layoffs at Ford and Stellantis tonight because of the ongoing UAW strike against all 3 automakers.
This as the UAW says it is time to change tactics and calling for all allies to come walk the picket line tomorrow. Mara McDonald live tonight at Ford's Dearborn stamping plant, one of the plants now affected by this latest round of layoffs. Mara.
Devin, that's right. Both Ford and Stellantis are confirming these new layoffs tonight. Let me show you. Ford saying it's got to put an additional 550 people on layoffs. Stellantis is pegging that number at 700. After a surprise strike and serious escalation, the UAW leveled at Ford on Wednesday evening. In his update to the membership, the UAW chief says they're changing tactics.
They stopped being interested in reaching a fair deal now, and only became interested in gaming our system of announcing strike expansions on Friday. They thought they figured out the so-called rules of the game, so we changed the rules.
Updates to the members may still happen on Fridays, but additional strikes are now a moving target. Ford drew Fain's ire when it didn't come with a new economic offer after 2 weeks. The company says it's reached the ceiling on what it can offer without hurting the business, at least as far as money goes. But what about other goodies, like offering the UAW access to battery plant jobs, which is what the union is currently negotiating with General Motors? Neither GM nor Stellantis have seen further strikes called against them in the way Ford has, but it doesn't mean they won't come. A month into this strike, the UAW has won a lot of what it has been asking for, but certainly not close to what were admittedly, quote, audacious demands in the first place. Meanwhile, the union tweeting this out tonight, hoping for a big showing on the picket lines in the morning. Back here live to put all these numbers in some sort of context for everybody. Here at Ford, Ford says it's got 16,600 workers on strike. You add on top of that nearly 2,500 that have now been laid off. You're looking at more than 19,000 of their workforce that's not on the job. We're live in Dearborn tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Keep watching it spread larger and larger. All right, Mara.
Now to the war in the Middle East. Gaza residents are trying to flee south after a timely warning from Israel's military expires. Now, they gave residents 24 hours to evacuate the territory, and tonight, that time is up. Jacqueline Francis joins us live with the very latest on day 7 of this war. Jacqueline?
Karen, that's right. Israel's 24-hour deadline has expired, and while some people did leave, others stayed behind. It comes as U.S. leaders spent the day in the Middle East delivering an important message. Bombs raining down on Gaza tonight. The Israeli military saying some forces have already entered Gaza to gather intelligence to recover hostages. ahead of an anticipated full-scale ground invasion, one that will be a challenge for Israeli troops as Hamas fighters use an underground network of tunnels to their advantage. Israel gave 1.1 million Palestinians in northern Gaza 24 hours to head south to save their lives. Some heeded the order, fleeing in vehicles, on foot, and horse-drawn carts. But most have not left, according to contacts inside Gaza. All of Gaza's borders are shut. Aid workers say a humanitarian corridor must be open to at least allow in food, water, and medicine to southern Gaza.
Everybody from Gaza is moving towards where we are. 1 million people, no food, no water. Where are we going to put them? But my thought is, all these people in the hospital cannot be evacuated. Where's humanity? Where's people's hearts in the world?
The U.S. working on multiple fronts to keep the war from spreading. Secretary of State Blinken in Qatar today, meeting with Middle Eastern leaders.
Let's not lose sight of why this is happening. Israel is conducting operations in Gaza because Hamas carried out terrorist attacks.
And back at home, President Biden spoke on 60 Minutes, pledging to secure the release of the American hostages. Reporting live downtown, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
New at 11, a murder investigation underway in Shelby Township after an elderly woman is found dead. Officers made the discovery Thursday afternoon at a home on Stony Brook Drive. That's near 21 Mile and Hayes. After several warrants and interviews, a 41-year-old Macomb Township man was arrested. Investigators said the man knew the victim. He's scheduled to be arraigned Monday on second-degree murder charges.
A Clinton Township man is behind bars right now after pointing a pistol at a driver during a road rage incident. Happened back in June in Elmira Township. State police say 23-year-old Timothy Schock was driving a minivan and another driver tried to pass him by using the left lane. It's believed Schock attempted to block the driver from passing and allegedly accelerated and then pointed a pistol at the driver he passed. Through investigation, police were able to identify Schock as the driver. He's facing assault with a dangerous weapon and is being held on a $5,000 bond.
The Allen Park councilman caught on camera tampering with campaign signs is now facing charges. Comes after Gary Schlack was seen last weekend on Ring doorbell camera footage replacing campaign signs with his own and stomping on one of them for a mayoral candidate. Schlack is charged with the destruction of property and simple larceny. Both of those are misdemeanors.
James and Jennifer Crumbly will not be allowed to attend their son Ethan's sentencing for the Oxford High School shooting. An Oakland County court has denied a request by the Crumblys to be in court on December 8th. That's when the shooter could be sent to prison for life without the chance for parole. James and Jennifer Crumbly are in jail awaiting trial on charges of involuntary manslaughter for their alleged role in the shooting. That trial is expected in January.
To Capitol Hill now, House Republicans voted behind closed doors to nominate Jim Jordan to be the next speaker. He earned 124 votes to win the nomination over Congressman Austin Scott of Georgia. The conference's nomination, however, is just a formal endorsement from the majority of GOP lawmakers. For Jordan to actually become Speaker of the House, he will still have to rally an overwhelming majority of House Republicans behind him to win a vote on the floor. He'll need 217 votes needed to get the top job.
A Help Me Hank recall alert involving one of Ford's most popular vehicles. The automaker is recalling more than 238,000 Explorers from model years 2020 through 2022. They've gotten reports of the SUVs rolling away while in park and then losing drive power. The source of the problem is a rear axle bolt that can fail, causing the drive shaft to disconnect. Ford says it's not aware of any injuries or crashes among the 396 cases of rear axle bolt failure. If you do have one of these Explorers, take it into a Ford dealer for repair. Rain in the forecast this weekend won't stop more than 80,000 people from packing the streets of downtown for the Detroit Free Press Marathon.
More than 23,000 folks signed up and ready to race across Detroit and into Canada. This year's course has a new section on Woodward. It's Grand Circus Park and the Fox Theater. There are 8 races that you can actually catch through Sunday. There's something going on all weekend, including a 5K, a kids race, and of course, the big marathon. If you're going to be out running, we wish you the
good luck to all those runners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Best, good. Have a great. Hopefully the rain will.
Hopefully
weather
stay
will.
away.
Yes, stay away.